Hey people. Oh my gosh. So I want to get on here and vent, of course, because that's what I do. Um, I definitely today I believe that within these last anyone who has really followed me has followed my journey from 2015 until today. Um, and everyone has seen me go from being in love to being in heartbreak to going into depression to being stressed for trying to overcome things to going into meditation to knowing how to pray. So people have watched me through my journey. And I had took a major step backwards. I took a major step backwards, and I believe I was out of maybe hope, faith, and it ended in great disappointment. And I've been sitting here, and I've actually been reading a book, this book, Maximize the Moment. And I kind of been sitting here and I've been reading this book and just feeding my mind. And I love you, sis, so much. And I have really come to the conclusion, like, when you put expectations above reality, like, if you really go out there, you are going to be disappointed. You will let yourself down. You will walk around and realizing that you are more frustrated with the situation or frustrated with other people. And you have to realize at some point you have to take accountability for you. You really have to take a step back. Yes, they did. People have watched me grow. They have watched me be a woman who didn't know how to manage her emotions, and I didn't. I really did not know how to manage my emotions. I didn't know how to manage my mental game. I did not know how to deal with disappointments. I didn't know how to deal with heartbreak. I didn't know how to deal with a lot of things. And a lot of times we're not told and we are not directed in our lives to how to deal with it. A lot of times we're connected to people that say, oh man, just let it go. Suck it up. It ain't no big deal. No. Bullshit. And don't ever be connected to somebody that when you tell them, yo, you're hurting me or I'm frustrated about something, don't ever be connected to somebody who brushes how you feel under the rug. No, don't let no one muzzle you, because what you feel is real. It may be temporary because your feelings are just, they're just sensors. They're just little tickers. They tell you what you feel. They tell you you're happy one moment, sad the next. You're happy, you're sad, you're back happy. That's just how our emotions are. But just because they tell you how they feel and they're not always going to last, it doesn't mean that it's not real. And I have went through and I have kind of discovered in my journey that I still am learning. I still am learning to manage my emotions. Sometimes I get so angry that I don't listen to people, and I build a wall up because I'm not able to receive what you're saying to me. And that's a great disappointment, because sometimes I realize we block our own blessings when we don't listen to others, and most importantly, we block our own blessings when we don't listen to ourselves. Because people could tell us everything, but it's what we say about ourselves which makes a difference. It's how we carry ourselves, how we deal with our disappointments, our love, our frustrations, our anxiety, our stress, how we deal with ourselves. Will be really the end game. It really will determine on, thank you, I had to wash my hair today. I'm not even finished. I'm at a skateboard park, so I figured I'm going to let it air dry before I finish my hair tonight. I don't know. I've really been sitting here thinking about my weaknesses, because the hardest thing ever really is to examine yourself. We always could point the finger at somebody else that they didn't like us enough, or they didn't talk to us how we wanted to, or they hurt us doing this, or, my mom did this and my dad did this. But at the end of the day, it's what you do and how you deal with yourself, because you're not responsible for nobody else. You're responsible for you. And I get that. I am not responsible for how somebody talks to me. me. I'm not responsible for how somebody loves me. I'm not responsible for how somebody understands me. I'm not responsible for that. I'm responsible for me, my actions, my words, my thoughts, everything about my being. And a lot of people, you have to face what anger you see, and that's what it is. You really have to do a lot of soul searching, and that's what I've had to do these last 30 days and I realized that when something is dead and gone, just leave it where it is. Stop trying to resurrect something that really isn't meant for you. And a lot of times we still hold on to the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and then it leads to great disappointment, which I have definitely learned. We do. A lot of times we do put emotion above logic. That is all facts, and you cannot allow, and that's our biggest problem sometimes, is that we put feelings over facts, and we cannot allow what we feel to detour us from what's reality. And a lot of times we're big on that. I know I have been very big on going by what I feel versus what I really know. It's already unlocked. You definitely can't blame your past for your future. You are 100% correct. You can, and that's what the most amazing thing about growing, because growth is the most uncomfortable thing you will ever endure in your life. It is so uncomfortable. This whole metamorphosis stage is uncomfortable. And what we fail to realize is everything isn't going to be glitters and gold. Everything isn't going to be sunshine and unicorns and fairy dust. Sometimes we are going to experience some of the darkest parts of our life. And that's where I was. And then I failed to realize that even in the dark. Because we look at these beautiful paintings, these beautiful pictures, and what we fail to realize is that film is developed in the dark. You see these beautiful trees and these beautiful flowers, and guess where the seeds are? They're buried underground in the soil in the dark. So sometimes we have to embrace the dark parts of our life, because understand that even when it's dark, something beautiful is about to happen. And so it's your attitude, it's your mental of how you handle the dark part in your life, which will help you get to the next season. We all honestly miss some facts, but sometimes we do, and you meditate. I've been actually, I meditated this morning. I did, sorry, I was reading the comments. I meditated this morning. I need to get back into it. So what I've been trying to do is pray. And I'm about to get back into meditation, because I understand that mentally when I'm disappointed, I shut down. And I cannot do that. And I see a lot of people are, and a lot of people do, and a lot of us are connected to people that are balls and a lot of weight to our lives, and they don't allow us to go to another level, because it's not our responsibility to pick them up and carry it. It's not our responsibility to try to make somebody see you for who you are and to see your worth. And it's not, if they don't understand who you are as an individual and they do not appreciate you, they could build you up. But if you're connected to somebody who is tearing you down all the damn time, you got to cut them off. You could take criticism every now and then, but if every other word comes out their mouth is them condemning you, judging you, criticizing you, you don't need that in your life. Be connected to somebody, whether it's a friend, whether it's a relationship, whether it's even someone. Be connected to somebody who knows how to pour into you, because that's so important. It really is. Of course, what we say to ourselves means more than anything. But, however, being connected to anybody who is going to be in your life on your journey, it helps. It really helps, Hello, how are you? So I'm just going through here. And like I said, I just been sitting here trying to just, get a clear understanding of my next move and where I'm going wrong in my life and how I deal with disappointments. Because like I said, I don't do it like I should. I'm not yelling and cussing out and people and things like that when I'm disappointed, but emotionally, I'm not where I need to be. And I need to find a peace that goes above everything else, a peace that goes above every circumstance, a peace that just surpasses everything in my life. And I need to get to that point where when there is a great disappointment set before me, I will still have peace as I go through it. Because if you don't have peace, if mentally you are not where you need to be, you would destroy so much in your path. And I am. And that's what I understand, is that when I am not at peace, my energy affects those around me. And sometimes I'm so tired of being so strong. I'm so tired of everyone expecting me to have it together. I'm so tired sometimes of feeling like I'm always doing something wrong, and I get tired and I get overwhelmed. But I know if I get to this certain part of my life where I have peace, I know sometimes I won't feel like there are two sides to everyone. I got two sides, two bad sides, but some got one side good. Yeah? You need someone to talk to. Oh, man, I appreciate it. I have great mentors in my life. But I thank you. But they do. It's not. It really not. And that's just where I am, man. And I've been so not at peace these last 2 weeks. My soul has not been at peace. My mind has not been at peace. And it has affected those around me. My energy has been so down, so drained. And I'm like, I can't. You'll give me my Arizona, Tucker? And I'm like, I can't. Disappointments are going to happen. We're going to get to the point in our life where we are going to be disappointed. People, places, things, everything. It's our attitude. And I've had a screwed up attitude these last 2 weeks. Ooh, Steve, boy, you said something then. Because we are, like you said, we are where we come from. But this is the thing, though. People are allowed to change. So just because people are from a crazy ass family, they're from a mother or a father who was abusive, or mother or father, it's in the back. Oh, you got it. Or a mother or father who's been on drugs. Some of it is just who we are. But also, you cannot just judge someone by their past, because a lot of times we connect ourselves to who they used to be versus who they are and where they're trying to go. Person has done to me and judge the next person on that. Woo! Drew, that's one thing I cannot do, is judge somebody based on what someone put me through. I can't do it. I can't. And it's so unfair, because you hinder your own blessings. We become masters of our own misery. So if we're taking what someone did to us or what someone said to us and we bring it to the next individual, that's not fair. But that's also why it is very clear that you clean up all your bullshit from out of your heart and out of your mind before you be connected to somebody else. Because a lot of us are so afraid to admit that we are toxic to somebody. We are so afraid to say, yo, I'm damaging you. I'm hurting you mentally. I'm hurting you verbally. I'm hurting you emotionally. We are so afraid to admit we are toxic. And we have to get out of that. So before you go being connected to somebody else, you have to get clear. You have to shed that weight off. And it's easier said than done. I get it. But before you run out there, we really need to reevaluate ourselves. Like I said, mentally, I hold on to stuff. I hold on to the hurt and pain. If you talk shit about me Monday, Wednesday, I still feel it. I may not say it to you, but you're going to see it, because my energy is going to show you. My emotions are there. And it's something that I have to get control of. It's something that I really have to work on. And also, when I'm mad, I say things I don't mean. I don't say it all the time, but I say things I don't mean, because I'm in the moment. I mean it in the moment. But one thing we can't take back is words. We cannot take back words, and we cannot take back time spent. So those are two things, man, we really have to get a grip on, and we really have to figure out what we're going to do. And really, is what I'm about to say, is it going to be beneficial for the next moment? Because if I'm about to kill somebody with my words, I can't take back how they feel. No matter how much I apologize, no matter what I say, no matter how I act, I cannot take that back. And I can't. But also, you have to understand, we are like gods. We have a loving God. What the hell? Yeah. And see, we are. Well, we are definitely like God. We are, gods with the small g. But we are. And we have the power to bring forth life,
with our tongue to forth life as a child, to share our energy. We have that power to do those things. And some of us do more harm than good. And that's when you really have to get in tune with your own spirit and with your own soul, and make sure you're not killing people that you are becoming connected to one another. And that's what they do. They pass some bad spirits from one individual to another individual to another individual. And then by the time you get to the fifth individual, they're so angry they don't even know what the hell happened. They don't know where this frustration and anger came from. Yeah, oh man, Steve, yes, we are human. We make mistakes. Man, we say things that we don't mean. We hurt those that we love the most. We are. And you have to accept somebody's humanity. And one thing I've realized these last 30 days is you could accept people's humanity, but you are not obligated to keep them in your life. If people are hurting you and tearing you down and disappointing you and man, killing your heart, people know you don't have to tell people, don't call me fat. You don't have to tell people that. If you tell them that one time, they heard you the first time. They just don't care enough about you to change. You don't have to tell a woman or a man, don't cheat on me no more. They heard you the first time. So if they continue to do it, that's because they don't care enough about you. If you tell someone, stop comparing me to your ex-girlfriend. Stop comparing me to your ex-boyfriend. Stop telling me I'm nothing. Stop telling me. They heard you the first time. If they continue to do it, that means they don't care enough and value you enough in their lives. Because if you're connected to somebody, even as friends, you want to build them up. You can't be connected to someone and tear them down. That's counterproductive. That just ain't gonna work. It just ain't. Control with stuff. Yeah, your peace is everything. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, your peace is everything. And that's where I am. Like, I'm just to the point where you could accept someone's humanity, but you don't have to accept their disrespect. You don't. And that's kind of where I was. I dated someone, and every day he compared me to his ex-girlfriend. And every day I would tell him, stop doing that. Stop doing that. And every day he did. And I kept telling him, finally I was like, you hurt me when you're doing that. And then he continued to do it. And then it got to the point where he was mad because my energy was always off. If I told you in the beginning, don't do it, I meant that shit. If I told you it hurt, I meant that. So at this point, whatever you do, you don't value me enough in your life to stop. And then it got to the point where he was like, I'm tired. I'm angry. You're not giving me peace. The same way I want peace from you, you want peace from me. You cannot cause a storm and still expect for it to be peaceful. That's where a lot of people go wrong. Men go out here and cheat and want their women to be happy. And they come home to a crazy home. You can't expect peace if you causing a storm. The same way you men want peace from a woman, we want peace too. We go through shit just like you do. And that's just what it is. It's hard to honor and respect a king and a man if he's tearing down his queen. I've never seen a king in a kingdom that allowed them to starve. I've never seen it. Every king that I've ever known in my life knows the value of building his woman up, to building his queen up, because queens can move in ways a king cannot. And I get it. Sometimes a queen has to be at a place in her life where she can bring peace and calm this man, but it's not her sole responsibility to do it. And a lot of men don't understand that. We don't have to babysit your emotions, because at the end of the day, that's an inside job. If I calm you today, whatever you're dealing with is still inside of you. So even if I calm you every day, whatever you're dealing with, whatever demon you're dealing with, is there at some point I'm taking all I have to calm you, and you still ain't fixing the demon inside of you. So now you expect for me to carry my battles, my demons, and yours. It's unfair. And that's vice versa. You know, you could go there and calm your woman down when she's mad, but at the end of the day, whatever she's dealing with mentally or emotionally or spiritually is always going to be there. You can't take someone and carry them every single day, because sometimes you have to drop them off and let them experience God themselves. You know, and sometimes you have to let people see who God is. Whether it's the God within them or the God in the sky that they pray to, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Sometimes you have to get out of people's life. Stop playing God to them, because that's what we do. You want to be mean to me and you want to belittle me? Okay, I'm going to baby you and it's okay. You want to call me a bitch or you want to call me a sorry dude? Okay, it's cool. It's okay. Let me baby you and get you through this moment. No. You could be there for them, but you don't have to. You don't have to baby them. You don't have to fix their problems. That's between them and God. That's between them and the God inside. They have to be strong enough to fix their own problems, to stop damaging those that they're connected to. You know, and that's what I'm seeing. And I've been seeing that more and more, and these last damn 30 days have been the biggest challenge for me, because I realized I was connecting myself to somebody who was still fighting their own demons, still treating me a certain way, but expected for me to rise to the occasion and carry the weight that they gave me and their weight as well. And in the meantime, I was running on E. And I'm just now trying to refuel, because if you don't pause and take a time in your life to be still, you are going to run yourself ragged. You will run yourself on E. You will run yourself in the dirt. Your soul would be weary. A lot of people say it's a breakdown. People say it's a mental breakdown, an emotional breakdown, a spiritual breakdown. I don't care how you look at it. At some point, you have to stop, take a step back, and see if this is even worth it. I'm not saying you just run out the first sign of danger, but you have to get from out your emotional, look at it logically, and try to figure out, yo, these are the pros, these are the cons. Is it worth it? Are we in the same are we on the same path? Are we going to the same destination? Are we dealing with the same things? You know, are you strong enough to help me in my weakest moments? Am I strong enough to help you in your weakest moments? Can I build you up and can you build me up? Or are you tearing me down more than you're pouring into me? Some people's hearts just ain't right. And they're not. Some people's, and it's what I also realize, is that some people are good for other people. You may be a good person. You're not a good person for this individual. They may be a good person, but they're not right for you. They may be have all these qualities, but you're just not right for them. And you have to be strong enough to know when to cut those ties. You say what you mean what you say. You know the ins and the outs. You stop beating and trying to resurrect a dead horse. You stop trying to give life support to something that is dead, and you realize I'm not for them, they're not for me, and you have to learn to keep it moving, because if not, you will always disappoint yourself. And then the more you disappoint yourself, the more you feel that you are stuck, and then you live in fear. And fear is the greatest thing in the world that could have so much power over you. You know, and you're right. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Some people don't love themselves. That's why it's impossible to love the person they're with. That's why it's impossible to be in a relationship and they can't love their woman. They don't love themselves. They like the idea of being treated like a king. She likes the idea of being treated like a queen, but they tear down each other with their mouths. They tear down each other with their mental manipulating games. They tear down each other, with their physical actions. They tear down each other because they don't love themselves. Because when you love yourself, when you fully love who you are, everyone around you that is connected to you, you want to see the best for them. So you ain't going to tear their asses down. You going to build them up because you understand the power in unity. You understand the power in a group of people. So you understand that power. You understand the strength. Therefore, you're going to do everything and build them up because you're like, shit, I don't want to fail. I'm connected to you. You ain't going to fail because I understand I'm as strong as my weakest link. And even in relationships, you as strong as your weakest link. So men, don't tear down your woman. That's not productive. You can't tell her, you a loudmouth bitch, I can't stand you, I hate you. You know, my ex-girlfriend would have done this, my ex-girlfriend would have done this. Women, you can't tear down your man and say, yo, you a sorry baby daddy, you sorry you don't listen, you don't work like this, you lazy. You can't tear him down. Because if you tear them down, how you make them feel, they ain't gonna shake that off because you say I'm sorry. Just because you say I'm sorry, it doesn't remove what they feel. And like I said, feelings are temporary, but they real. They real. So be careful when you open your mouth and you're mad at somebody. Sometimes you just have to walk away for a minute. I'm about to go sit in the car. I'm about to go to the room. I'm about to go to the basement. Sometimes you have to. And if they care about you, they will understand, yo, she needs space. He needs space. Because in that moment of space, you get clarity on what I should say, what I shouldn't say, how I should act, how should I present this to let them know, yo, they're offending me without coming out, opening my mouth and being disrespectful. You have to understand people need to gain their own clarity in a situation. You can't expect people to always understand what you understand. It's okay to agree to disagree. It's okay. You know, there are selfish people out here. Then what change should come? Right. And sometimes you have to take a minute and step back and then present yourself. And because sometimes you need to breathe. And it's okay. I walked off. I was in a gym. And I walked off from a very huge misunderstanding. I didn't want to discuss it because we were in a public place. And then we were also next to one of my kids. So I didn't want to discuss like, yo, you offended me. So I walked off and went to the car. And then he came out and said, yo, you disrespected me. A real queen don't walk off. I'm like, yo, you made me feel a certain way. And I didn't want my energy to show. So I walked off to get a breather. He said I was disrespectful. He said I was basically a good-for-nothing woman. Whatever. But at the end of the day, I had to let him know, if my energy is off, allow me to get it back together. You know, he was like, no, you should have done it where we were at. If I'm not able at the moment to get it together where I'm at, allow me to take a break. And that's what we have to understand with people. Allow them to take a break when it's convenient for them. Yeah, I know that's right. You have to. But you can't make them drink, you can't. And sometimes, and I tell people that, you can't tear down the people you with. You can't tear down your kids and tell them you lazy, you good for nothing, you sorry like your daddy, y'all get on my nerves. Because how are you talking to your kids like this when you should be building them up? I'm like, did you agree to disagree, right? Or when he told me that, I apologize for walking off. I'm a person, I said I apologize for walking off. I didn't know I disrespected you by walking off. I said, if I disrespected you, I apologize. That wasn't my intention. I don't mind apologizing when if you think I'm wrong, and give me clarity in a situation, communicate with me, help me understand why you thought it. That's just me. If I'm doing something wrong, tell me, yo, Joy, you doing something wrong. And
He was to ask you what's the problem instead he insults you.
I mean, he knew what he did, but he just told me that's. But I mean, at the end of the day, I knew who I was dealing with. So that disappointment was far beyond. That's just what it is, And so that's why I tell people, please allow people to walk off and get their mind right. It's important. It really is. So, hey, daughter, how are you? But, man, it's just how we deal with our disappointments, and how we move and what are we doing going forward. I know at this point I need to meditate more. I know I need to control my emotions. I know I need to listen better sometimes. I know sometimes what I'm thinking should not always be said. I know I need to get in a better mental state and not allow stuff to weigh me down. So at this point, I know, and I have a list of things that I know I need to work on. Because in order for someone to receive the best me, I have to be the best me for myself. And because whoever gets connected to me is not going to win because I'm not the best version of myself yet. I know, I'm here. But yeah, I just, it's just me. I just go through my life lessons. I don't mind going on. And one thing about me, I don't mind telling people where I go wrong in my life. Because a lot of people go wrong in their life as well. And I don't mind it. Because I don't mind telling people I'm a flawed individual. I'm not yelling and cussing out nobody no more. I used to. That's not me anymore. However, I'm quiet. I'm frustrated. I cry a lot. I mentally shut down. I emotionally shut down. And that's not good neither. And that's what I strive to be. That's why I don't mind trying to gain understanding at this point in my life of where I'm trying to be. So, like I said, I really have a list of things that I need to deal with myself. And that's all I want to do is grow. I want to grow to become a better woman, a better mother. Nobody's perfect, and you're right. And nobody is. And it's important to be connected to people that understand that as well. Because if you're connected to somebody who does not respect or appreciate your humanity, they will criticize you more than they will build you up. They will judge you more than they will have mercy on you, and they will do more harm than good. So it's definitely good to be connected to somebody who understands your growth. And sometimes we do grow on others' expense. Sometimes we do grow and we end up hurting people because we're not where we need to be in life. We're not loving someone right, or we don't understand things right. And sometimes we are, and it's sad. However, this is where we are. One day at a time. Yes, all we have is one day at a time. And like I said, this book's called Maximize the Moment. All we have is one day at a time. And one day, especially today, I choose to grow. I choose to work on me mentally. I choose to work on me spiritually. Every day is something that I have to work on. Whether it's reading more, praying more, emotionally getting to where I am, forgiving someone from the past, forgiving anything. Every time a thought comes in my mind, frustration, instantly I have to forgive them. Even if I forgive them 1,000,000 times in my mind, I have to forgive them for any pain I've ever felt. Khalil's right here too, Sky.
Who? Who's Sky?
Oh, someone on the thing. But let me get in here. No, my steering wheel's on the right side. But let me get out of here. I so love you guys. Have a good night. I just had to get on and let people know disappointments will happen. It's how we deal with it that matters. And understanding our faults, our weaknesses, understanding where we go wrong, understanding everyone is not for you, understanding that people will make mistakes, understanding when it's okay to walk away, when you should fight. It's just life. And we really have to take a hold because all we have is the now. Tomorrow's gone. Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow may not come. So all we have is the now. And it's very important that we take a hold of the now and understanding and learning how to get through this moment every day. That's just where we are. Anyways, I love you guys. DJ, I love you. Yeah, moments can be created. But as of right now, we have is a now. Yep. But anyways, I so love you guys. Got to get on this road, going back home so I can get back in my book. I'm on page 71. I've been reading this book all day. Anyways, love you guys.